Hello everyone and welcome to Star Wars on High. Thank you for stopping by. So we got some pretty incredible stories last week from Star Wars issue 25 written by Charles Soule. I made a video on this before reading it just to go over that it would be an anthology of short stories following different characters that Charles has written for. And wow, were they all unique and awesome. First off, from the Obi-Wan and Anakin comic we have The Lesson. Now I was hoping that this would deal with a much younger Anakin, but this story was still great. After the sparring sequence we got in the Kenobi show, this is a great follow-up. Another session between Master and Apprentice where some interesting information is given. Anakin begins asking why the Jedi specifically use lightsabers when they could use the kyber crystals to create all sorts of weapons. Clever foreshadowing if you ask me. But Obi-Wan explains to Anakin that he had a similar idea when he was a Padawan, wanting to create a weapon that was two short blade sabers attached by a chain. At first I was thinking like a pair of nunchucks, but this image in the comic looks way more dangerous. Obi-Wan even says that attempts at alternate lightsabers have been done in the past, but they are all locked up in the archives. The lightsaber looks the way it does because it's about how the galaxy sees the Jedi. They want to be a symbol that will stand up against the dark, unlike the Sith, who have made multiple weapon designs, such as the light whip and the scimitar blade of Darth Noctis. Overall, a great story and a very important lesson. Unlike the next story, which is also called The Lesson and is from the Darth Vader comic. These are perfect parallel stories of Master and Apprentice, showing how Anakin was trained with Obi-Wan versus how Vader was trained with Darth Sidious. It opens up on Coruscant again, but this time Vader and Sidious are just going straight into the fight. One of the key differences is that there is hardly any dialogue in the story at all. It's just all action, and we can see Vader using a lightsaber that isn't his. I'm not very versed in the comics, so if anyone can explain this one to me, that would be awesome. But where in the previous story Obi-Wan was explaining the importance of the lightsaber, here we have Sidious explaining that the Sith don't just have a lightsaber, it's just there for looks. The dark side of the Force is the main weapon of the Sith, showing just how different the Jedi and the Sith really are, as the Sith only want power, a power strong enough to consume all who come against it. The third story is See You Around Kid from the Kylo Ren comic. This story follows Kylo going on a bit of a ghost hunt. Since it's set between episodes 8 and 9, we see Kylo visiting Crate, Elfrana, and what I believe to be Ossus in an attempt to find Luke Skywalker. He has no idea where Luke really was, and since he's now one with the Force, his search is more difficult, especially since I'm not sure that Kylo knows that Luke is dead at this point. He probably does know, but I'm not certain based on how he acts. What's interesting about this is that after every search, he orders General Hux to call an orbital strike on the location to rid it of the mark that Luke left on each of these locations. But you can still see the sadness in Kylo when Hux asks if he's going to watch the bombardment, and Kylo replies only with, "Why would I? There's nothing here." And the fourth and final story is one that's absolutely amazing to me, and that's A Eulogy for Snap from the Poe Dameron comic. This story is set just slightly after episode 9, which I think is incredible, but the story is still very sad. It opens with the Battle of Exegol, and we see Snap get shot down. Then we skip straight to after the battle, where the members of Black Squadron say their goodbyes to their fallen teammate, one of which is Kar, Snap's wife. Everyone goes around and talks about memories they had with Snap, and it's both heartwarming and heart-wrenching at the same time, especially when Kar pulls out a data chip holding the code to Mr. Bones. Mr. Bones was a B-1 battle droid that Snap had customized as a kid and played a prominent role in the Aftermath trilogy. But seeing Kar throw the data chip into the fire was what hit me really hard. I loved Mr. Bones so much, but I felt it was perfect for the code to be destroyed so that both of them could find their way in the Force. I may be going a little deep on that, but it was a powerful moment for me and I just really loved it. But that's all of the stories that came out of Star Wars issue 25. What did you think? I felt that this was a wonderful way to celebrate the 100th comic from the main Star Wars line that Charles Soule has done. So what better way than to tell a few new stories from different comics all packed into one? Let us know down in the comments which story was your favorite and whether or not you'd want to see a little bit more from these stories. But until another comic catches my attention, that's it for this video everyone. Thank you all for sticking around and we hope to see you again very soon.